Hello, my name is Connor Lomas, and today I'm going to share the information products that I've created regarding the functions of emergency management for San Bernardino, California. These information products are located in a mapping tool for quick access. This mapbook template example here shows an area of interest in Washington, D.C. using the United States National Grid, which is a commonly used language for various ground operations. First, it is important to identify the grid zone designation, which is 18S, and the 100,000 meter square identification, which is UJ. You must then read right and then up in order to identify the location of the grid coordinates. We'll now take a look at the San Bernardino County Place Vulnerability Story Map. Place vulnerability analysis is conducted by identifying vulnerable populations of people located in hazard zones. In this case, we'll be taking a look at flood hazard zones, as well as the various social vulnerability levels per census tract. So as you can see here, the output of these two layers result in the place vulnerability layer. You can then see the most vulnerable communities in all of San Bernardino County. So this shows special needs infrastructures such as schools, nursing homes, and so on. The red triangle hazard symbol represents special needs infrastructures that are located in highly vulnerable areas. And there are a total of 56 of these throughout the county. So this represents the San Bernardino County Community Lifelines. Here we have the safety and security, which represents the fire stations as well as police stations, medical resources such as hospitals and urgent care, various forms of transportation, and so on. It's also important to acknowledge the other hazards that can occur in Southern California. This includes landslides, wildfires, and earthquakes. So the damage assessment form for individual assistance is used to report damages of areas that were impacted by a disaster in a quick and effective way to emergency management authorities. The questions include information about the type of damage, level of damage, and so on. This was configured using Survey 123 for ArcGIS and the FEMA pre-damage assessment template. For this web application, I'm going to demonstrate how to use a situational awareness widget to show what infrastructures would be impacted in case a flood took place. This widget allows you to analyze the feature information as well. So you would use the polygon tool here to mimic like a flood, either something that's either occurred or a prediction, to see what infrastructures will be impacted by this. As you can see, there are 15 shelters here that are impacted, approximately 4,700 people. There are 12 public schools with approximately 6,000 students that would be impacted. Here are 2 hospitals that are shown with 53 beds that are available. This shows the various features. Next, we'll take a look at the damage assessment operations dashboard, which was created to keep track, display, and analyze real-time data from the preliminary damage assessment form. Some of the factors shown here includes level of damage that was done, from minor to unaffected, the times that times and dates that the survey was submitted, as well as the location that the survey was done, or the damage was done, rather. So this pie chart here shows the level of damage overall. It was 4 minor and then 2 major. So this gouge shows the progress of the survey. So there have only been 6 surveys completed so far, and we have a goal of 15,000. So the operations response application is extremely beneficial for displaying as well as updating incident data to increase situational awareness. Here I've created a representation of an active wildfire impacting the Valley of Enhancement. This demonstration shows a mandatory evacuation zone in red, a pre-evacuation zone in yellow, road closures, an active wildfire, and other infrastructures as well, including the shelters. So what's interesting about this is that you can add resources using that resources layer, which includes evacuation routes, road detours, and so on and so on. Another interesting feature is that the ability to update these layers in real time. So I'll just say the wildfire was spreading more to the north. We can move this evacuation zone, further up for it to be mandatory. Now we'll talk about the San Bernardino Sawtooth Complex wildfire in 2006. It was one of the worst wildfires in the history of San Bernardino County. Wildfire actually began from a lightning strike, and it rapidly spread due to the fact that there were multiple dead trees because of a pine bark beetle infestation. So here is the location, the layer of the the Sawtooth Complex wildfire. It covered approximately 62,000 acres, and it took a total of 10 days to finally put out. Here's some data showing the damage and loss from the wildfire, as well as the numbers of corporations and people that were involved, personnel that was involved. So this layer here shows the potential for a wildfire to occur again, which is the wildfire risk potential layer. As you can see in this area over here, there are, the wildfire potential is a lot higher in the western area. And it was actually to have said that the fire started there in 2006. So it was important to keep close eye on this particular area. It's also important to know which infrastructures are on zones that are highly risky for wildfire. If what were to happen in the same area, we can identify populated and vulnerable areas by displaying the population density. It says this tracks with over 3,000 people, as well as place vulnerability analysis. It seems here that this census tract has the highest place vulnerability, the most vulnerable. So it's extremely important in general to avoid activities involving fire in wildfire-prone areas. It's also important to report any smoke or fires absolutely as quickly as possible. In order to monitor wildfire activity, this live wildfire layer shows active wildfires that occur in California and how large they are and how much has been contained, as well as wildfires that have been extinguished. So now we have the public information application, and this can help the general public get understanding about what to do during an emergency situation and if it is impacting them. They can use this application on their phones, tablets, not only their computers. So the incident information widget can be used to see if the person's home is in an evacuation zone, or simply typing in the address or dropping a point. And if it falls into the mandatory evacuation zone, it is critical for them to leave as soon as possible. This application you can share a link to this application as well as embed it into your website. Finally, a storm incident survey was created using Survey 123 for crowdsourcing. Citizens have the ability to easily report issues that occur during or after a storm. This include power outages, roadblocks, flooding, so on. It's a very quick and easy way to notify emergency management authorities on where a particular incident is if there's an incident located from a storm as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it very useful. Thanks again.